the opposition has told you. I will then crystallize this debate down to two clear, concise points. First off, economically disastrous. Subsidizing does not fix the problem. When we subsidize food stamps and welfare and low-income housing, that is still coming out of someone's pocket. Our taxes are going up because companies do not want to pay up and give their employees the benefits and the rights that they deserve for working hard for their company. Second, local businesses will suffer. There is no statistic showing that because a local business has to hire somebody a higher wage that they are not going to survive. If anything, they are going to thrive because those employees are going to be dedicated to them. They're going to be getting a fair wage. They're going to be healthy. They're going to come to work and not call in sick because they have to eat at McDonald's every night because they can't afford to buy healthy food for their families. Lastly, turnover. If a company were to have turnover, the only way that that would be possible is if the minimum wage was raised more than 50% of what the minimum wage is now. That is not the case. There is no statistic showing that there will be a higher turnover rate because companies have to pay a higher minimum wage. And the errors of a cashier, perhaps that might be due to the fact that they are tired and working 3 full-time jobs. Not at this time. First off, we would like to grow the middle class. We would like to make America competitive with each other. We would like to have businesses and companies and employees that are working hard to deliver fair products with fair wages and a fair lifestyle. Not at this time. We want businesses to succeed. And how do businesses succeed? They have good employees that are dedicated to the products and resources that they are working to create. And if employees are getting paid a higher minimum wage, they have a higher likelihood of being healthier, of working harder, of having a better quality of living, and therefore becoming better employees, helping the economy, and increasing overall consumerism. We would like to increase the middle class, not at this time, by putting money back into the Americans' pockets and giving them the opportunity to be able and go out and purchase in the economy. We want to divorce ourselves from the idea that all work is good work. Working minimum wage and not being able to support your family and living off of food stamps and living in low-income housing and having to live off of welfare and worrying day to day that I can't get sick today because if I can't go to my 3 jobs, I won't be able to support my family. That is not a good job, not at this time. In addition, we want to say that raising minimum wage can only help us compete in the global economy. By doing so, we will have healthier employees, we will be able to create a better product and therefore become more competitive with the global market. Lastly, it is not the job of the government to protect profit. It is the job of government to protect the people from abuses of power and from companies that are doing the best to pay them the least amount as possible and make sure that they are not only not giving them the best profit for their businesses, but also hurting them in the long run because it's going to create a higher turnover rate because nobody wants to stay at a minimum wage job that is miserable for them and that they're not getting paid anything. And therefore, it's going to create a higher turnover rate. By creating this higher turnover rate, these companies are spending more money by training new employees more often. If we were to raise the minimum wage, it would create a steadier flow of employees that are staying with their companies, therefore, in the long run, creating a profit. Americans seem to have this slight idea that we need to only think of the short run, and in the short run, yes, maybe a few companies will suffer, but in the long run, companies are going to thrive, and they're going to have employees that are proud of their company and proud to work with them because they know that they are being cared for by their employee. In order to run a thriving business, you must care about your employees because they are the ones that keep your company alive. Not at this time. Lastly, I would like to say that increasing minimum wage has no negative effect on employment because it does not create competitiveness. If we had the opportunity to go from one minimum job to another minimum job, that's still creating high turnover. That's still creating problems from business to business to business, and we're still subsidizing the same amount of profit. Even though not all of us might be making minimum wage, some of us still have to pay taxes and still have to pay welfare and still have to pay Medicare and still have to pay for food stamps for those people that didn't get the upper hand and didn't have the opportunity to work for a thriving company. If we improve the middle class, we can extend the benefits of individuals. Yes.
If you raise the minimum wage, won't a lot of these smaller businesses not be thriving anymore, so they won't have anyone to work for?
I think if we raise the minimum wage, it'll give the local businesses an opportunity to make their business that much better by hiring employees that are going to care and last and dedicate their time and energy to these 10 employees that they can only pay at this time, and make sure that they are solid employees that are willing to do 3 jobs at one time while these economies are growing. Lastly, we believe in the American dream. We want Americans to have the opportunity to move forward on their own, to not be stuck on relying on food stamps and low-income housing and living on welfare. We believe Americans should have the opportunity to buy a house and feed their family a healthy meal and come to work every day and be proud that they are making enough money to have a decent car, a decent house, and to raise their family the way they should. And by doing so, we will have a healthier environment, a healthier America, and each person will have the opportunity to grow and succeed and the opportunities that they see fit. We believe that Americans, in order to pull ourselves up from our bootstraps, must first be given the opportunity. And by having the minimum wage be $7.25 an hour, we are not being given that opportunity. And if anything, our country is suffering. Thank you.